Welcome everybody, my name is Michael, and today we're discussing about finally the bubble is popping. Well, if there was a bubble in the first place. I think so. A lot of people would agree with me that there was inflation rampant all over the place over the past year, especially in used car sales, especially in high cost of living areas with real estate and new cars as well. And of course, you can see it at your local grocery store. The price of lumber, the price of services and goods and gas and pretty much everything you can think of all over the place, with the exception for a couple outliers here and there that actually went down in price because of weird effects. With what's been going on, we finally started to see gas prices dip down a little bit. We finally started to see in certain states and certain cities the housing market beginning to fall a little bit. And sometimes that could mean a price difference of $10,000. Sometimes that could be $100,000 for a $500,000 home. And recently there's been apartments selling for 40-50% discounts from what they were listed, luxury apartments from what they were listed before. And used cars have definitely started falling, especially at the auctions. Right now, being someone who works in car sales, I can tell you that you're probably not going to see a huge difference. There might be a slight difference in used cars dropping a couple $100, maybe $1,000, maybe $2,000 if it's a more expensive vehicle. But there's still a lot of negotiating happen. However, we're not selling cars over MSRP anymore. I'm sure there's a lot of dealerships that are also switching to that. Some are selling under MSRP technically, because technically there's addendums and still market adjustments and whatever, and some of the discounts may not apply, and whatever they're posting online, they're really selling at MSRP or above MSRP. But there are some dealerships actually selling below MSRP, not including addendums and all this, but they're selling below, and used cars are falling generally. And probably over the next 6 to 12 months, you're going to see that reflected in a lot of dealerships. Some will be slow to the party, but it's not going back to where it was before COVID because there was inflation. However, it's going to the levels where it should be, and every single year prices will continue to rise gently. However, during periods of instability, such as over the past 2+ years at this point, you're going to have still some crazy prices. And I hope I understand that gas is going to continue to go up and down, and it's going to get worse before it gets better. But eventually, once the situation normalizes, because it's not normal right now. For example, right now at the gas pump, you see stickers all over the place for the rest of this year, at least in the state of Illinois. Inflationary taxes have been ceased. You're not going to pay that at the grocery store, blah, 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 blah. But they have to keep, making amendments and whatever, and we're going to see what's going to happen in 2023. But eventually, once the situation normalizes and they don't have to do that and everything's going to be normal, you're going to still see high prices, but it's going to be a lot better. And that means maybe an extra couple $100 in your pocket, maybe even more than $1,000, which you're able to invest or pay off debts or whatever, and it's going to give you more money, less stress, and we're very excited. However, until then, it is a tricky situation still. I live in a high cost of living area because it's not super crazy. I don't live in the exact city of Chicago. I live in suburbs, but I'm paying $1,300 for rent with utilities and everything, over $1,400. And I know that I'm nowhere near owning a house. But in the future, in the next 2 to 3 years, I'd like to have a townhome or a house, but really a townhome because that's all I can afford. So I would like to have something 2 years from now, obviously, if my salary rises and whatever, then I probably feel comfortable even $1,400 for everything included, for the mortgage, for taxes, for insurance, for if there's a HOA. I hope not, but many do. So in order to get that, I have to look at houses and townhomes and apartments that are well under $200,000. But that's not happening because even in the city of Chicago, where I was passing by kind of a bad neighborhood today, I was like, these houses can't be more than $200,000, $300,000. Wrong. There was a $600,000 house there. It's a tiny house, no garage, right in front of a busy street. You've got a hospital not far away, airport, everything. Yeah, it's a good location if you want to be close to everything. It's not in downtown. It's like in the weird kind of bad side of west side of Chicago. And this really tiny house, like one bathroom. I looked it up. Like it's crazy. You're paying essentially for an apartment in a home disguised as a home, but because everything was renovated, oh wow, a lot of these renovations, the average price of a house there was $300,000-$400,000. Where again, if you move into better neighborhoods that are outside of the city for $400,000, you can get a much larger house, probably 4 times larger, with a garage, with quiet neighborhood. But still, these prices are insane. There's the average house around here is like $700,000-$800,000, where you're with property taxes and everything, you're paying $5,000 a month, if not more, and interest rates are rising. So the situation still has a lot to improve upon. However, it is slightly getting better. And for crypto, we've got a lot of hope. With that said, the year is coming to an end. I'm very excited to go on the 2023 journey with you. And hopefully the world gets better and inflation goes down and things get better financially. But it's still going to be tough. And I'm excited because either there's going to be a crisis and there's going to be a huge fire sale. Hopefully, finally, when I have a little bit of money, or if things can go also horribly wrong, or at least the situation is going to get better generally. I feel it's starting to get better. The beginning of this year was terrible for many people. But anyways, I thought I'd make this video because we're finally starting to see changes in at least the used car and even new car market. I've had some people ask me about that. I've also seen what's going on with interest rates and homes. So we'll see. Have a good one. Look at those clouds. Thanks for watching.